So I'd like to take a look at this beautiful animal and start our session on extended learning, summer learning. But I'd like to create some perspective and some intention. So when you see this creature, go ahead and, do some shout outs of what exactly you do see, like what physical things you do see.
Interesting colors.
Interesting colors. Yeah, for sure.
Blue feet.
Blue feet. Thank you for the obvious. Love the obvious.
I'm trying to figure out what that orange thing is to the left, but on the rock.
I'm going to go with it's a leaf that's dropped down from here.
An orange leaf, I see.
Yep, an orange leaf. That's exactly right. Oh, someone says something else.
He has an unusual eye.
Yeah, unusual eye. Yeah, and notice the length of the beak and the hair, the feathers here versus the feathers here. So this is a Galapagos booby, blue-footed booby. And of course, we can make a lot of fun of that. I just got back from the Galapagos, and one of the older women said, she was going to do a blue-footed booby on her booby. It was very funny. We're like, we're in, that's so cool. But I show this to you for many reasons as we talk about our topic. One, you can't really see what's going on underneath. This bird has an all blue body, but all you see is the blue feet because everything is covered up by the feathers, right? And if you don't know the characteristics, and I think I have this right, that this is a female because of the small of the eye or the unusual eye. And the other thing that one can tell immediately if one knows is that the bluer or the more aqua the feet, the more nutrition, the healthy nutrition this bird is getting. So why is all that important? It's important because what we cannot see is the stuff that we do not help. And so we don't always know if our student needs extended summer, an extended learning, because on the outside, they may be beautiful. This is a beautiful animal. The feet look pretty healthy to an extent. You can kind of see that this part's a little white, so they're not as blue as they could be. All right. And, she's looking really good, right? So on the outside, things are looking pretty good, but on the inside, maybe something's not going well. Maybe she didn't find her mate. Maybe she hasn't eaten enough. Maybe she's not getting enough fresh water. There's just lots of things that are always hidden. And that's how I wanted to start today's conversation, because extended summer learning, extended school year, sometimes isn't necessary because on the outside, the kid is making A's and B's or behaviors have been okay, but that summer loss can really affect a student. So I just wanted to give you that information, kind of give you a visual of how we might look great here, but on the inside, we need more, right? We just need more help. But how do we qualify? So I wanted to share with you our amazing, information on how we qualify. Here you go. So I'll give you the link right away so you can pull it up on your screens. And here it is. We're going right to Wright's Law because that is the standard, right? All right, so Susan has told us that she's a mom of a sweet FASD little boy. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Susan. So go ahead and click that so it's on your screen as well. And I'll be more than happy to share so that others can benefit. And What we like to do is kind of give you the information so that you know what is, take the emotion out of it and really know what ESY is. And then we like to have the discussion, right? So we want to make sure that when we're speaking, we have facts and then we can put our emotion into it, right? Because it's all so emotional for each of us. So before I start hard on this, if each of you, China and Kim and Cynthia and Susan, if you're still online, if you could go ahead and tell us why this topic is important to you and what you need to extrapolate from it, that will help us sort of, gear up. I'm going to stop share though, so that we can listen well. So, China, do you mind starting?
Sure. So my son goes to ESY every year. There's not been a year that he hasn't had ESY. We
Okay.
did drop out though when it was COVID and it was all online because it just wasn't working for us. So I put him into a summer camp and life was much better for all of us. But I guess I hope to learn, like, it seems like whenever he goes to ESY, the work that they do seems very simplified. It's like coloring pages come home. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of substance to it when he goes. There was one year that he was in ESY with Sable, and I don't think they did much work at all. So I guess what can I expect as far as learning for him?
So quick question. Has it changed over the years? As you've seen it, every ESY year, is it always simplified or has it shifted at all?
It doesn't seem like it's been very different. Like, he is very far behind academically. So even though he's supposed to be in third grade, we held him back. So he's actually in second grade, but he's still on a kindergarten level and has been since kindergarten.
Okay. All right, thank you. Kim, can you share with us what you're hoping, what you want your takeaway to be?
Okay. Well, I'm a retired school teacher with Okaloosa County School District, so I've dealt with ESY. In fact, I've taught in ESY, and I just wanted to see, I've been retired 3 years now, and I just wanted to see what was going on with this law and how it's affecting other children, especially FASD. I homeschool my 10-year-old, well, and now I'm going to homeschool the 5-year-old. But I'm doing that because she lost so much. And she was in a private Christian school because she needed structure. She can't handle the movement in a classroom. She just totally loses it and was having a lot of issues. So we put her in a private school. And then once I retired, we decided to keep her home. But I just wanted to see what's going on with everybody and how these parents are handling what's going on in the schools. And I may be able to have some input because I have taught in the ESY. Oh, I would say out of my 17 years, I probably taught ESY 15 out of the 17 years. So I've seen it. I've seen a shift in everything. And in most
Okay.
school districts, it's gotten better, but I don't know. I don't know. I only know Okaloosa County and Santa Rosa and Escambia.
Okay, so China, what county are you in?
I'm in Manatee County.
Manatee. Okay, thank you. All right. Hey, thank you, Kim, for giving us that perspective. That's really helpful. Cynthia, are you able to chime in?
Yeah, I just want to make sure you can hear me. Can you
Yeah,
hear
we
me?
can.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't really know much about it. I was assuming it was for, like, Sophia's going to be getting held back this year in second grade. But when I had her last IEP meeting, Mrs. Dean said that she didn't think she should go or needed to go, especially since it's not at her school. So she goes to Cranberry, but I guess that program is going to be at Lamarck, and she doesn't think that's a good idea for Sophia to have to go there and then come back. Like, she doesn't like any change. So I thought,
Oh,
yeah, she has a big problem with if we get a new couch or a new bed or whatever. She doesn't like change at all. But besides all of that, Sophia, she's only 8. She's living for her summer, you know? So if she even knew that she might have to go anywhere near a school over the summer, I'd probably lose my head. So, but anyway, that's
okay.
what it was
Just
for.
knowing.
I didn't know if it was
Okay.
just for help or if they have to go. I don't know much about it.
Okay, yeah, it's good, good. All right, thank you. That makes sense. Rosemary, hi.
Hi, I'm in St. Johns County. I have an adult child in the post-high school program. We moved here in December of 2019, right before the pandemic, from another state. And I am very aware of how ESY works in the other state. And in the past 2 years, it wasn't offered for her in the high school as she was a junior and senior. They just didn't feel she needed it. And I didn't really know much. And this year they did offer it. And I do have her registered. Obviously, our situation is different because it's job training, not academics. But I just wanted to understand the bigger picture of how it works here in Florida.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Susan, can you let us know, are you available to speak for a second?
Sure. I'm so new at all of this that I must have missed. I don't even know what ESY stands for, so I'm just here to learn as much as I can about everything.
Sure, sure. So ESY is extended school year.
Okay.
So we'll
Okay.
start with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So let's go into what it actually is. I'll share that screen again. You have the link. And this way we can just get the facts. So remember that rights law is about what is applying really to most states, you know, all 50 of our states. So this is not about the legality, but if you need more legal work or you need to dive deeper, there are links on here that allow you to dive deeper. I'd like to say, as they state, do not accept legal advice from school personnel. So that might mean, you know, even when a personnel member says, I don't want you to go to that other school because of the change, Cynthia, you know, it's too much. You have the right to go over to Lamarck and go see what their ESY is like and know. So you don't have to, just because someone gives you that information, that doesn't mean that you know, it's written in law, right? Like you get to go over to Lamarck and say, this is what's going on. I'd like to check it out. Perhaps my daughter would be a good fit and perhaps your daughter will not be a good fit. Oh, I borrowed your pen. I'm so sorry. I didn't have a thing. So I think it's really important to understand what the IDA statute actually says, but you have to know what your issue is, okay, about ESY. So let's look at the standards that you need for ESY, and I'll make it a little bit bigger. All right. So ESY is not taken lightly, and it was actually defined by federal courts. And this gentleman, Dr. Bar-Lev, he is the one who helped get this thing started, okay? So, so I wanted to just give you that information. There's not a lot to it because an IEP designates whether ESY is acceptable or not. Now, let's see, who said that? Rosemary. ESY was not offered when your older child was here, and now it's being offered. What changed?
I don't know, other than she left high school and is now in the post-high school adult training program. And
okay.
they put it on the IEP on the first one we had. And they said they would evaluate towards the end of the year whether they thought she needed it.
Okay.
And for me, I need her in something consistent and not sitting home. She's already struggling with the process of work. She's very low functioning in that she's got an intellectual disability, like the full syndrome of fetal alcohol. So like switching from a very protected classroom with lots of aides and staff to going to the job site and learning how to actually work has been very hard for her. And I just thought keeping that consistency, although they get like 2.5 weeks off and then go back to school and then have another 3 weeks off. I don't know if that's better than just going straight through or not, but that's what they offered. So I took it and they agreed to let her be in it.
Okay. Are you happy with the decision now based on the little jaunts of time, little jets of time?
Yes, because her sitting home doing nothing all summer long, because she's a snotty teenager who doesn't want to, spend 1 second with her family, like any other teenager.
Okay.
You get it.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So when should children's IEPs then have an extended school year? Well, some children with disabilities require special education related services longer, right, to get their FAPE or FAPE. And they're usually for special education or related services that are provided beyond the usual school year. And that brings up the second question about regression and not, being able to move forward like, let's see, China, you talked about it, right? So it's a team decision, but it's not one that the school gets to make on their own. I want to just say that again. It's a team decision. It's not a unilateral decision by the school. You get to weigh in, like hard weigh in, okay? And the ESY time can be used to recoup the regression, catch up, or any other reason that the team decides. Remember, you are part of the team. I'm going to say that one more time. You are part of the team student, right? So don't think that just because the school says no, or we've made a decision without you being there, that you cannot weigh in and turn the tide. That's really important to understand. But let's now address this part right here about regression, catching up where the child should be, or any other reason that the team decides. So there are lots of reasons for ESY, and you just shared one of them with us, Rosemary. For China, you have a regression thing coming up, a catch-up moment. And so what's really important to understand, oh, you're fine. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So what's really important to understand is what the curriculum will be during the summer that is different from the school year, so that you can understand what gaps are going to be closed. So I'm going to actually stop share for a hot second. All right. So China, what has been different in the ESY part of summer than what regular curriculum is to close the gap for your child? What have you noticed?
It doesn't
not
seem structured during the summer. Like a lot of times, like he'll just be writing numbers on a blank piece of paper, and then the coloring pages dot to dots. It's not actual curriculum that he brings home. Last summer, he didn't qualify to go all 4 days, and we did have a lot of regression in speech, so much that the daycare was asking me, is something going on with his speech? We can't understand him. He was going through Thursday and Fridays. And what we think happened was from wearing the mask at school that he was mouth breathing, and so his tongue got really weak, and so when he would speak, his tongue would like shoot out as he was talking. And it's finally like starting to get better. And so this year they said he could have the speech and OT during the summer as well. But last summer,
I was going to ask you that. Yes, that's really good to hear. So where in Manatee is your son?
he goes to Virgil Mills, and they do really great with him. It's just that the summer school just doesn't seem to have a lot of substance to it.
All right. So as a parent with a student with an IEP and an ESY on there, you have the opportunity to sit down with the incoming staff of the ESY, semesters or quarters or however they're doing it, and say exactly what you're saying to us there. However, come in with some suggestions, what you would like to see, even if you have to purchase your own curriculum, which I'm sorry to have to say that, but you get to go in and say, hey, these are the goals on the IEP. What curriculum is going to be matching it? And what can I do strategically to either be in the classroom with you for a moment or at home so that we can actually make progress? Because we're not making progress. ESY is not beneficial to my son right now. And I'd like it to be beneficial. Is there a way that we can work together to get to yes? Is that feel comfortable enough that you can do that? You're allowed to, so it's not outside of, parents don't ask. So it will be an unusual question, but it's a fair question.
No, I've never asked, and we work with an advocate, and we didn't talk about that part at all, just that, he could qualify for ESY. They did say that with his IEP that they don't necessarily do all the services with that, like during the summertime. And so like during he gets the Orton Gillingham techniques and like a pull out reading group and things. And they said that they don't do that kind of stuff during the summer.
Ask why they don't, because if that was working, it should still be part of ESY. You still have an IEP. And the answers might be, we don't have a specialist. So if that's the case, ask if you can bring one in. Remember the schools are going to be limited or shifted during the summer. We're already in a teacher shortage. They truly may not have an Orton Gillingham, an OG person. So can you bring one in? So for example, I go in on Zoom 3 or 4 days a week at Williams Elementary for a student. We do a half an hour, and this kid is also very low. But we made significant progress. So just ask what you can do if they can't. Hopefully, is that helpful to you?
That is, we just had our IEP meeting for this time, but I'll reach out to my advocate and see if she thinks that we should try to meet again.
Yeah.
Evie, I have a question with that. Going back to China's thing, ask what I could do if they can't. Who pays for it? The school? Or does China get somebody to come to the school?
Yes.
She pays for it or the school pays for it?
Depends on, well, the first answer is she pays for it. The second answer is press them to pay for it. They're not going to, there's not a budget for it. But if you have someone from Florida Center who can come in, the Lean on Me project, we go in, we don't have a cost through NAMI, and we're supported, by private donors and grants and all the things. So, that might be possible. Also, if you can coordinate with outside OT or PT to come in and do it during the school day that you're already paying for in addition to their OT or speech, ask for that as well. Ask for everything. Ask for the whole world so that you can get a little, peace. They can say no all they want. You're trying to just find out when they're going to say yes. Okay, hopefully that helps. All right, so I think Cynthia had to, yeah. Okay, good. So she had to, I think, log off. So I'm going to go ahead and share again, Wright's Law. And let's go to overcoming these roadblocks. So again, I don't have anything new or sexy about this.